Okay, I'm doing this. Don't worry, you didn't tune into a podcast about childbirth or Lamaze. That is just my nerves. I'm Rob Green, and I'm a comedian who can't perform anymore because of the coronavirus. People aren't allowed to gather in a group of any more than 5, so that's taken my audience down to a little under half. For a few years, I've been toying with the idea of doing a podcast, and this seems to be the perfect opportunity to do it. So with this, it's called What in Rob Green's Earth. It's a very clever title, I think. I'm kind of proud of that, but it's also very vague, so I don't have to talk about any one thing in particular, which is good because I don't know a whole lot about many things, but I know a little bit about a lot of things. I guess it's time I put out a couple disclaimers. Number one, this isn't a spoiler podcast, but it's not a anti-spoiler podcast. If we're talking about a movie or a sporting event or something, we're just going to talk casual, so we might drop something every now and then. I'm not actively going out to spoil anything for anyone, unless you're an obnoxious fan of like a show that's like Game of Thrones or something, in which case I will throw spoilers in your face every chance I get. Another thing, if the podcast sounds awful right now, it's because I'm not rich enough to have a studio. And if the podcast sucks, well, fuck you. I'm just starting out. It's going to get better. Also, there's a bit of swearing on this, so if you don't like swearing, you're shit out of luck. So like I said, it's a very general podcast. I'm going to talk about whatever comes to mind when I feel like talking about it. Hopefully I can stay interesting enough that I don't have to shift this over to a weird conspiracy thing to kind of keep you guys all interested. And in an attempt to avoid doing that, I've planned on having some guests. Now, don't get used to it happening all the time. I do what I can when I can, it's hard to get people sometimes. But since this is the first episode of my podcast, I thought, why the hell not? So to spoil everybody, because as I've said, I'm not that interesting, episode 1, guest 1, Andre Pettipas of Andre Pettipas and the Giants. Say hi.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy for a shut-in. How about yourself?
Nah, same, man. I'm locked in my music room, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Well, I've covered 2 Eminem songs within the last 2 weeks. I'm going to start my 3rd one tomorrow.
Yeah?
Wrote 4 new songs. I've been working on a bunch of old demos, so it's catching up on stuff that I've wanted to do for a while. So I'm just working on my chops.
Nice. So for anyone who listens to me but doesn't really have good taste in music, tell them a little bit about what you do and why I'm talking to you.
So I'm a musician from Antigonish County. We would have went to the same high school. I mean, I might have been a few years later to graduate, not because I failed, but just because the age factor, I've been playing music since I was 12 years old. I'm now 28. I've toured across Canada and as far as Sweden, and play a genre called Grease Coast rock and roll. It's basically Southern rock mixed with like 90s pop rock. Is how I'd best describe it. So if like the Gin Blossoms had a big party with Hanson and Guns N' Roses and Tom Petty and they all had a big Royal Rumble, that's what you get with Andre Pettipas and the Giants.
It's nice. I like it. I think 90s music is severely underrated.
Oh man, like give me a good Matchbox 20 song and try and beat that. You know what I mean?
The 90s was really good. I found, well, I'm older than you by about 8 years, so I got to live a little bit of it. And it was just kind of all these genres of music were really starting to come into prominence that weren't before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't know anything about electronica before the 90s.
No, like everything happened. 90s had a bit of rock and roll. They had a lot of hip hop. They had like everything was there. And I grew up, well, my sister was 6 years older than me. So I grew up during the Columbia House days where she'd get the 1-cent CDs and I'd, of course, steal them and listen to Marcy Playground. Marilyn Manson,
I think I have probably all the same albums she does from what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of the CDs actually still work, so that's amazing.
I get most of mine from Value Village. You'll find 1 million copies of Jagged Little Pill, which is probably top 10 in my favorite albums. The acoustic version's even better than the full electric version.
I've never heard the acoustic version of that album.
It is amazing. Highly recommend it.
I'm going to write that down in my notes.
Jotter.
Just got to make sure I write it good enough that I can read it.
That's half the battle.
You've sat next to me. You've seen my set list. It's just, oh, shit.
I thought you were just trying to write a doctor's note.
I was writing drunk because I usually drink when I perform, so I can read drunk when I'm drunk, but when I'm sober, I'm just,
That's strategy right there.
That's something, all right. Yeah. It's
See,
actually, yeah. We talked about doing this like 3 years ago after Christmas at the commune.
at the commune, which is no longer a venue, but it was one of the funnest venues when it was open.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's where I started out doing stand up.
was it that was your first show? Like a live show would have been at the commune.
Yeah, I started hitting up the open mics there, and
That's amazing.
yeah, a couple open mics in when I stopped sucking as bad, they offered me an opening spot for a couple of journeyman comedians coming in. It was Ian Black and Dan Hendricken, so that was like my first paid gig was there as well, which was pretty cool.
Money is a great thing to happen when you're performing.
It was
It doesn't happen a lot all the time, but I mean, it's what you strive for.
Oh yeah, it was only like $20, but still, I was like, "Holy shit! I just got paid to tell jokes."
There's life goals right there.
Fucking made it, guys! I dropped that 20 on 3 drinks, left the tip, and then I was gold.
Peace. I remember your. I don't know if you let this one out to the public yet. Your Family Matters skit.
No, I didn't. You told me to hang on to that because you were going to do one of these.
Maybe we'll just maybe we'll bring it up in this chat.
We could probably find a way to work that in organically
Segue
at some point.
into it.
It's harder to do a bit on something like this, I think, without a crowd or.
Oh, 100%. I was doing a live stream last weekend. I usually do them on Saturdays, and after you're done playing a song, you're like, "Fuck! Now it's quiet. What do I do?" I'm usually feeding off the audience. I'll stare a hole right through their soul, and then it's like, yeah, nobody's there to look at. So you're like, hopefully that was good.
You got like a set rhythm though and words and stuff, like when I'm doing mine, I got like an outline, and I find like when I'm telling a person one-on-one, okay, I got the outline in my head, and sometimes it's a bit I haven't done in a while, so I really got to think. I used to hear comedians say like, oh, I haven't done that bit in a while, I don't remember it, and I think, well, it was good. How do you forget it? Forget those pretty fucking easy when you stop doing them for a while.
Oh, 100%. I used to act at the Alexander Keith's Brewery in Halifax, and I did I think it was 12 tours a day. And then after about a month of not being there anymore, I went to try and remember my lines. I'm like, God, I don't remember them all. And it's like, you got to practice that. Same with music. If you don't practice singing your songs, you're going to forget them.
I find too, if I'm somewhere and someone recognizes me from doing comedy, I'm like, oh, hey, it's Rob Green. Ooh, do that bit about this part here. So I'll try to rhyme it off, but then the person I'm talking to keeps trying to like jump in and turn it into a conversation piece. It's like,
yeah, it doesn't work like that.
No, a conversation can go in any direction whatsoever. Like I've got something linear here. Fuck. So a big crowd, I can usually drown them out or tell them they're an asshole in a way that makes everyone laugh at them. And that tends to work a little bit.
That's the best way to do it. Speaking of assholes, after this is all done, we should probably go to a local pub, have a beer, and play some guitar and tell some jokes.
I think we probably arrange that.
I think that'd be cool. Even like a live podcast would be fun.
Absolutely. I think everyone will be so hungry for entertainment just to get out after this. I think it's going to be like a floodgate.
I think so too. I think like shitty as the time was for me personally, it's good for the world to be a little bit refreshed. It's like we press the reset button. The world is screwed. And it's like, okay, how do we shut down? Well, shut the world down. And this is how it's going to happen.
Pollution's going down. Gas is going down.
Right. Speaking of gas going down, my car is burning fuel like a bastard. 23.4 liters per 100 kilometers yesterday. So it's about the same as if gas was normal for me right now.
What do you guys travel in when you tour?
Well, we had a 2008 Dodge Grand Caravan, known as Band Van Bigelow. But so Band Van Bigelow barely made it home from PEI. December 22nd or December 21st, we were playing in PEI and barely made it. We made it over the bridge, and then something was going on wrong with the transmission. So the transmission was stuck in third gear from there to the venue. And we got to the venue, reverse wouldn't work. Then it wouldn't start. Then neutral was drive. So our buddy is a mechanic, so he put it in link mode to get it. We pushed it back, and we had it in neutral, which was drive, but we still were able to get it to his place. And we drove from PEI to Nova Scotia in third gear the whole time. revving between 4 and 5,000 RPM, and it costs 200 in fuel to go to PEI and back. So right now, we've been borrowing my boss's van, but we were going to buy a 15-passenger van the week of this pandemic. We were supposed to be in Toronto yesterday for something secret I can't really say now, but anyway, we were supposed to be in Toronto yesterday, and that's what we were going to buy the van for, that to go out. And we had Canadian Music Week planned in a couple weeks. We were supposed to go to Newfoundland for Live at Heart. We had a tour planned across Canada this summer, so we don't really know what's going on. So we're holding on as long as we can right now to buy a vehicle until we really know what's going on. Like, we were supposed to release an album next month, or in May, sorry. We have an opening slot for Buck Cherry, but that was moved to November. So everything's just pushed back, and we're just playing the waiting game. See if people will abide by the rules and stay home.
Yeah, that's tricky. I see a lot of people just out in droves.
It's the worst. It's like, guys, just follow the rules so we can go back to living our normal lives. I've literally been out of my house 3 times since everything happened. I got laid off. I do sheet metal when I'm not playing music, and I got laid off just before I went to Vegas, actually. And so I came back, and no work now, so I got time to do everything music while I'm home.
Time where you really get to know yourself, eh?
Yeah, it's like some days I like myself, some days I'm like, what are you doing with your life? And I just want to, I just want to hit the stage, and you can't do anything.
Yeah, I find now I'm writing a lot.
Yeah,
which is good, but it's kind of one of those things where each day I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh well, this great pandemic material, but I'm like, fuck, everyone's gonna be doing this shit now. So
that's it. Like, it's tough. I mean, when we first got the kind of shutdown in Canada, I wrote a song that day, and then I was like, I'd just record a video of me just singing and playing it. And so I did that, and then I mean, like 1,000 other people within the next hour did it too. I'm like, oh God, at least I did one before it's like, before it's too late and it's not cool anymore.
I'm just posting quips now on like Facebook and Twitter. So if anyone else makes the joke, I can be like, fuck you, you owe me a nickel.
That's a good idea. You can have the timestamp. I know that's like for songwriting. I'm thinking about that. It's like good to always post your clips. And it's like, okay, well, when did you write your song? That chorus is the same as this chorus, which was writ here. Show me some evidence.
It's one of those things too where I'm like, even like if no one else is doing the stuff I'm doing, is it going to be like, okay, we're sick of the COVID-19, say something funny about whatever. I mean, really all that's going on in the world right now is coronavirus and Tiger King. Like, that's it.
I haven't even watched Tiger King. Have you watched it?
I'm just about done. I've got like 2 episodes left.
So it's worth it?
The first episode, I was kind of like, and most people I know that don't watch it but have tried it just kind of got through the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But you get through like episode 2 and everything is just fucking batshit crazy. Like, a fucking alien could show up in the middle of the show and I'd be like, okay, yeah, that's feasible for this scenario. Like, it's just
really
crazy.
So what would you describe it as, like, in comparison to another show? To sell
Oh, fuck. Basically, redneck homosexual meth addict who loves big cats feuds with sinister lady who pretends to be a really genuinely good person, but deep down inside is just as, if not more, sinister.
I kind of like it. I might have to go watch it later. I'm just like, I'm one of those people that, though, if everybody's stuck on, I'm like, I just want to not do it because everyone's talking about it. I want to do something different.
Oh, that's like me in Game of Thrones. Haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it. I don't, like, honestly, I don't watch much TV. I watch anytime I'm home and I have concerts going on YouTube on my TV, and I'll watch like Habs games and Jays games and Raptors games. That's basically my TV time.
Yeah, I'll do like hockey, and the odd time I'll catch wrestling because that's a guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah.
I still throw on Monday Night Raw every once in a while. I'm not sold on the new wrestlers, but I mean, no one can compete with like that Attitude Era.
No, they're all so cookie cutter now, and everything's scripted, and
it's not organic.
No, there's nothing genuine about it. Like, it's basically some guy's writing lines that probably has never been in a fight in his life, to be honest. And then Yeah, nothing sounds just natural. Like if you're pissed off at a guy, you're not going to come out and start talking to the audience. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin never came out to the audience like, "Hey, everybody, listen to me. I'm going to tell you a story that makes no sense." No, like Steve Austin came out and was like, "Get the hell out here. I'm going to whip your ass."
Throw me 2 beers. I'll fucking have a mouthful of 2 of them.
Yeah.
While the rest of them spill over my jean cut-off shorts because I don't give a shit.
But fuck, you could throw those from anywhere in the arena and he'd catch him every goddamn time.
Yeah. I have a Austin vest right behind me, actually.
I see that. I've been eyeballing that.
Right
there you go. Yeah.
There. It got stolen from me one night at the Split Crow when I was playing. Actually, my cousin Dave Stewart was wearing it, and he lent it to a girl, or I don't know what the full story, but it was gone the next day. Then someone put on the buy and sell, St. FX buy and sell, that I was looking for my vest, and then got it back the next day. I was like, thank God. I was like, that is one of my prized possessions.
Oh.
Prized possession, only $40 out on eBay.
Oh, fuck. I'd be putting like flyers out on telephone poles. Just fuck your bylaws. Just, I'm finding this.
Couple staples missing. Are you not allowed to post to the town in Antigonish? I don't even know.
Someone said there was something about that, but I don't know for sure. I don't have the ambition to find those things out when I post my flyers.
You know what? It's a tricky game, like the posters and everything. It's like internet, Facebook, like Instagram, that is so big right now that, I mean, the physical postering, I still do it myself, but I don't know how much it's doing for you, how many people it brings in. I'd like to dig into those numbers someday.
I find when I do that, I bring people that aren't normally in the demographic that I'm marketing to anyway. So I'll get like an elderly couple that'll come in to listen to me do some stand-up.
Margaret and Angus come in.
Oh, hello there, folks. I hope you're not squeamish. I'm going to tell you a funny story about a time I got a mosquito bite in my dick. That's going to be great.
Oh, dear. Didn't that happen to you, Bill?
I believe so, back when I was in Normandy. We couldn't complain, though. We'd be called soft. Not like this guy up here pissing and moaning about it. You wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes.
Basically true.
I had a gig one time, and it was just all people like that showed up, because I didn't do much of the postering or marketing myself. Or I don't know what happened, but there was myself and Kevin Johnson and another comedian. And I was trying to do these jokes and just like crickets for the most part. And I was like, okay, I don't know this crowd, so I'm there just adjusting my set to stuff that I know has killed.
Yeah.
For like months before. I've been doing these ones here for months. I'm not going to do anything new. I'm just going to do my killer material.
Yeah.
And I was like doing my bit. I do one where I talk about how everyone has some kind of alcohol that they shouldn't drink because it's that one alcohol that turns them into a fucking lunatic.
100%.
And I always do the thing like, come on, someone shout out, like, what do you drink that you, like, what kind of drink should you stay away from? And it was just quiet. And I'm just like, seriously, nobody in here consumes alcohol and gets out of hand ever. And it stayed quiet. And then this one old lady, she like put up her hand like she was in school. And I turned to her and I was like, yes. And she says, I like to have 2 glasses of wine every weekend.
Oh, going all out.
And I just looked at her in the microphone. I was like, Gladys, you fucking demon. And she just comes back with, oh, my name's not Gladys. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were Gladys up the road. Gladys, Happy Bum, whatever, same name.
Used to trade recipes with my grandma. Yeah.
Her sugar cookies were just delicious.
I had like this other bit that I do where I like ask someone for an answer, and there's an obvious answer, and then you know how like you flip it, and then
yeah,
I asked for the answer, and then it was just silent again. And I was like, seriously, nobody, you're gonna do this to me again? And everyone just kind of looked at each other. So I just said to them, okay, guys, this bit was going to go about 2 minutes. Just check your phones, do whatever. I'm going to go get a beer, and I'll come back and pick up where it would have left off. And they were cool with it. There was like a light chatter for 2 minutes, and then that was it. Like that's
no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. He's been working really hard. Let him go have his beverage.
Yeah, that was rough. I hope that never happens to you.
So you know that's totally different, because if you're the only guy up there and you don't have an instrument behind you, it's like, well, if these guys aren't clapping, I'm just gonna either keep playing another song or I'll scream. Be like, okay, you guys are idiots. I'm the one with the guitar. I'm gonna keep playing it. No, but the only really thing, like, you'll get them crowds that are quiet, but for the most part, I'm trying to grab their attention. Like, if it's a quiet room, I'll go throw in a song that I'm like, okay, I know not even like my grandmother is gonna love this song, so everybody else should love that song. It should capture the attention of anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got crazy energy. Like I've watched you, like you're crazy energy. There's no way that people can't get into that.
Well, see, for me, I don't like sitting down when I'm performing because I want to put on a show. It's entertainment. If someone wanted to come see somebody sit down and play, I mean, obviously there's the songwriter circles and there's everything else, but it's like, okay, I'm not just here playing music. I'm here performing for you. If you wanted to hear music in a bar that's probably doesn't sound the greatest anyway, like you could have just stayed home. Let's give you a performance so you remember this.
Yeah, get up and get
Like,
into it, get involved.
exactly. See, like for me, it's however long you perform, it's a time to actually let go of everything. You're not on your phone. You're not worrying about other problems. You're just there trying to remember your lyrics and connecting with your band members. It's like for these 45 minutes, let's just give it hell.
Do you have any favorite songs that you perform, like ones that you just can't wait to get to in the set?
Well, there's a song that's on our new album called Homesick, and it's probably one of my favorite songs I've written, and it's one of the ones we really like to perform. I wrote it, and it was a song that I just had in our demos, and I didn't want to show the guys. It was a sad song. I wrote it when we were in Red Deer in 2017. We were on the road, and it's like I think we just played a gig. There might have been 15 or 20 people there. You're however long away from home. You're like 50 hours away from home, 60 hours from home driving, and you're like, okay, we just made no money. Back in the room. Is this what I want to do with the rest of my life? So it's a song that's really emotional. It's called Homesick, obviously, but that one has a very special guest on it, and I can't say just yet, but it's a track number 5 on the album, and it includes the guitarist from one of my favorite all-time bands. That's all I can say right now. And we were gonna let the news go in the next 2 weeks, but that's gonna be held back a little as
As
we wait for this pandemic to dissipate.
well, I'll hold back from asking about that. So let's flip the coin. Do you got any bastard children that you're like, oh, I don't want to do this fucking song anymore?
um, I'm kind of sick of playing a song called Long Way From Home, but it's a song that's did really well for us. So now, like the live version is nowhere near the studio version because we add a double time into it. I get to solo behind my head and I sing Eminem in it. So it's like, okay, if I gotta play this song, we're having fun with it. I think the Trues do something with Tired of Waiting. They changed that completely because that's the song that they got their bread and butter with. Like they made their name in the industry starting out with Tired of Waiting and Not Ready to Go, and it's still in their set list every night. You got to change them up to imagine playing that for 25 years.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Like when I do stand up, I can't do the same shit for any more than like a year.
Yeah,
But you're expected just to kind of keep repeating that Groundhog Day cycle.
100%. Like same with us. Like the new album. Like I'm sick of the songs that are on it already, and like we've been playing them live for like half the songs have been like a year. Some of the songs have been for 2 years, and I literally have 20 new songs ready for another album. And it's like I want to play all these songs live, but we got to promote all these other songs. So it's a bit of a slippery slope which songs to pick. I mean, and even creating your set list, which songs to leave out. It's like this isn't fun trying to pick between your children. Daddy doesn't love me.
So how many shows do you think you do in a year?
I think last year was 120. This year, maybe 10 so far, which is really crappy due to everything that's going to be happening. And we tried to take January and February to be slow for us while we build for our new album. And I mean, the winter months are tough for touring anyway, because you don't know what you're going to get into. You don't know if there's going to be crowds out. You don't know if you're going to hit a snowstorm. So it's not really worth it. I don't really know what to expect for the rest of the year. I'm literally taking it day by day. Like I said earlier, like we have a tour across Canada planned. I mean, we've got some festivals, but I don't know if they're still going to happen because a lot of festivals canceled. So honestly, right now we're looking into like July, and all events in Toronto are canceled till the end of July, I believe. So I don't really know what's to happen.
Oh, if it makes you feel any better, everyone else is taking a hit too, so no one's getting any ground on you.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I think that's why we all got to be smart with the social media and connect that way.
I think this is a
That's
good opportunity too for everybody that does some kind of art to really kind of like it's a big reset, like you said.
it
So when
is,
we
yeah.
come out of this, if you come out of the gate strong, you can kind of
Mhm.
make a go at it for yourself. Like
Yeah,
regardless of what you do, like even myself, like if I come out of this strong with a bunch of new material and it does well and I can get booked here and there, then that's like golden. Like it's just people forget
100%.
people have forgotten like my last show was like shit. I was too drunk on stage. No.
See, that's one thing with me. I don't drink often anymore. I took the year off last year. I went 400 and some days sober. Then I went to Vegas, and whatever happened there stays there. But I try not to drink while I'm playing. And everyone comes up to me afterwards. They're like they can't believe that I didn't have a drink all show. It's like, oh, I'm here. This is my work. I'm trying to give you guys the best show I can. Why should I drink? You know what I mean? Like our drummer's been sober for 3 years, so he he has a little bit on me.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't like go hard booze, but I like
Have a beer.
yeah, if I'm getting hit with a heckler and I'm dead sober, I'm
Yeah.
way overthinking everything he hits me with.
Yeah, so you might get a little personal, and that's true. Like, see, it's a total different ball game. Even though it's the same stage, it's a different ball game. Like, we've both got to be think differently and critically. For
Oh,
you, for someone that gets to pick on the audience members, you got to be selective with how you're going to approach it, which is super strange. It's like I can't just call off a buddy in the front row for not paying attention to me. But I mean, I could, but I don't think it would look too good on a band.
no. I was actually that show the first one I did with Dan Henderkin. He starts picking on this guy in the front row for wearing like really short cutoffs, like jeans that are like above his knees. And then he goes to pick up. He's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I work in a like an old folks home, and I do like all these things." The guy was like a fucking angel. And
Yeah.
there's just literally nothing he could say to.
I was trying to pick on short shorts, but he's a really good guy. So
Oh,
backpedaling.
he's really nice and progressive. Shit.
That's priceless.
So when you do your tours and you go across Canada and everywhere, and you're going to be in Van Bam Bigelow Part 2,
Yeah.
how's that traveling with the guys? Like, do you guys get
Oh
friction,
man.
or is there a lot of just pranks to blow off steam? What do you do?
You know what? We so I play in a band. My brother's the bass player, and we have two other members, and we've been playing together for years now. And honestly, the vehicle's not that bad. The only thing is watch out what kind of food you bring with you. Before we left Nova Scotia one time, and I think we were like 3 or 4 days in. We had to play Saskatoon that night, and my brother whips out his ground lamb from underneath the seat that he had since Nova Scotia. So that's the only thing. You got to worry about the smells. And I mean, some people might have crappy music taste. So if that's the case, you just throw in your headphones and get away for a bit. But honestly, for me, in vehicles, I don't talk that much, especially on tour. I barely talk all day because I try to save my voice. And I'm a very soft speaker when it's not on the stage because I just try everything I can to protect my voice as best as I can. All you do, you're just driving, you stop at the gas station, you get your food, and you go. There's not too much glamour in it, but I mean, I can't wait to do it again. But you just see a lot of pavement.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can't wait for like the entire experience. But like when you're just sitting there in a rig, like I used to fly a lot, and like the first
Hmm.
time I flew was like, oh, this is exciting, and then I just fucking hated it every time since.
Then your ears are sore, and the person behind you won't stop putting your knees in your back.
Yeah,
Like, um, like the last time, well, when I was in Vegas, I came home and our flights got all changed. Anyways, we had like a 14-hour layover in Toronto instead of like a 3-hour one. And to get to Toronto from Vegas, like our flight was canceled. They had to put us on another flight. I was in the very back aisle, right by the shitter. So you couldn't lean back. This was an overnight flight. Like I think it was 11 p.m. to like 6 or 7 in the morning. And yeah, so no leaning back, just everyone going to the washroom. And it was just horrible. Actually, I had the flight attendants beside me in the other aisle. It was a wide open aisle. And those two were like fondling each other. It was WestJet.
Oh.
I didn't call them out on it, but yeah, they were like touching each other and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if this is protocol. Like, are you allowed to do this stuff? I forgot about that.
They're definitely having an affair and just sneaking it in when they can before they go home.
I think so. Like, they were just like, I don't know if they joined the Mile High Club that evening or if they've done it many times. Like, if it's their thing, it's a strange affair.
Just a yearly membership that they renew every time they
Oh, Vegas to Toronto, we're going. Like, it was just super strange, like literally laying on each other, and they had their suits on and like their little wings and their stewardess suits. I didn't really understand it, and it was annoying because they're like, oh baby, like talking and being loud. I'm like, okay guys, I can't sleep because this sucks anyway, and I got to deal with them.
Go in the bathroom and you just smell of like sweaty polyester and filth and debauchery.
Exactly. There's a word. There's a new album name. Debauchery.
There you go. You can have that one.
Or maybe that'll be like a song for the end credits.
That'd be a good one. Debauchery.
It even sounds cool.
It's a good word. It's one of my favorites.
I don't think I've ever said it in my life. So now it's going to be in my vocab.
Okay, you got to like message me the first time you use that on stage.
You know I will.
Like midpoint of like your concert, like you go, yeah, anyway, debauchery. Oh, hang on, just whips the phone out.
Light bulb moment. I got to get a hold of Rob.
I had this joke with a buddy of mine like years and years ago. We teased him because he had his V card a bit later on than the rest of us. Classic. So I always would joke him. I said, the minute you lose your V card, I want you. He calls me during.
That is legendary.
It's like 4:00 in the morning. He's in Yellowknife at this point, and my phone rings. I pick it up. I'm like, hello? He's like, guess what I'm doing right now? I'm like, it's 4:00 in the morning. I was dead asleep. How the fuck would I know what you're doing right now? And he's like, here, I want you to talk to someone. He passed to the phone.
No.
She's like, hello? I was like, hi. Who's this? She tells me her name, and she says, yeah, I don't know, but this was part of the agreement.
Oh my God. So was it like 30-second call or?
As soon as I realized, I said, I'm going to let you go. You kids have fun.
That is the best. Nobody wants a three-way call you weren't originally invited to.
But then when I woke up the next morning and realized the gravity of the situation, I was just laughing just like a crazy man. Just okay, I'm gonna go for a walk and get a coffee, and then it would just dawn on me, and I just start laughing, and everyone starts staring at me.
That is actually like one of the funniest things that you could do.
Oh, it was wonderful. I've got to call that guy and remind him about that sometime soon. I'm not gonna say it away.
I was gonna say, spill the beans.
Maybe I'll get him on here someday to tell the story. Balls in his court on that one.
The episode should be called Balls Deep.
Oh, that's what I'm going to call this episode.
Love it.
I just clicked the pen. Balls Deep with Andre Pettipas.
Can I go balls deep with Andre Pettipas?
A tale of debauchery.
There, sold. Put it in ink.
So, question for you, more serious question. What are you going to do with all these gigs that are going to come at you? Like, who's got first dibs on you when everything starts back up?
Oh man, see, like I have no idea what we have to do because venues are usually 3 months in advance to usually book. Like when the announcement happens that, you know what, the world's normal again, what do? Do you call the places that you have the shows booked and be like, yo, we still on? Are all the other shows moved? Is our spot still good? Everything is super strange. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what is going to happen.
It's going to be like a lot
of release an album.
It's going to be like a lot of factors, I think, going in, but you don't even think about it. It's going to be like, okay, I make a lot of money there. I really like this area. When I'm here, I can go do this as well, which will be fun. This guy's a dick
Yeah.
to deal with. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely pick and choose your markets that you know you're successful in first. But with like we're going to be promoting a new album. So obviously we're going to want to play new places, and we got to go about that smart. So when you're going to play a new town, you want to find the best local act to help you with a draw. You got to go to the radio stations. You got to find the promoters. So, I mean, it's a lot more than just booking a show. It's logistics, money, everything involved. So it's going to be fun and challenging to whip up something last minute.
Get many dick promoters you just won't work for anymore just because of the principle.
Yeah, definitely. Like there was this one guy, not saying names, anything, but went to play a show, and he's like, "Yeah, I get a cut of this." I'm like, "For what? This wasn't discussed beforehand." Like he went and took 20% after we had to pay the sound guy, which wasn't discussed. So like, there's lots of places that'll do that. So anytime I go somewhere, like that's brought up beforehand. It's like, okay, we take this as a minimum, and if there's more, then this is the stipulation. So you find out pretty quickly who's in it for the right reasons and who's in it just to make a buck. I mean, the promoters, they're few and far between now these days. Nobody knows what they're doing. Like it's weird. Like small town promoters, there's not as many as there was even when I started playing. Even around here, there's not many promoters.
Yeah, it's like with us, like usually one of us will book a venue somewhere nearby or when we're out of town, and then you just call the other guys like, this is the night I got, cancel your shit and prepare a set. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's the entertainment business though. It's always so up and down. And I think that's the fun about it though. I'm used to everything being upside down. So when this COVID thing happened, I'm like, I kind of figured something shitty would happen from my last 2 years of planning for this album release. But you know what? We'll make the best of it, and we'll do what we have to do to be successful throughout it.
You actually saved my bacon one night, me and another comic. We were doing a spot that you had done, and I was talking to you prior to it, and you said, make sure you get paid before you leave there. Don't let them do it the next morning.
Mm-hmm. And I think I know where that spot is.
Yeah, and if we had a way circumstances worked out, if we had to let that go, that wouldn't have been good for us.
I know exactly the spot you're talking about, because I've since been blocked on Facebook and other reasons for trying to get paid my agreed money for that evening. So it's super weird, man. People are like, I just brought these people in for you. You're stealing your own money, and I'm the bad guy. It's hard. I mean, everything too with the music industry or the entertainment industry. If you don't have it written down, people are gonna try and slime you for all you're worth. Or I mean, it happens so much. And I've even recently started like deposits because people canceling last minute. Like people don't realize. You usually book 3 months in advance, and venues are booked for that time. So if we were booked to play your or like a festival or a dance, anything, and you cancel on me 2 weeks before, there's money that we don't see that we had planned for, let's say, buying our CDs for our album, buy our, you know what I mean, buy our merch. And it's hard to pick up where that lost revenue would be.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I actually no, I don't. I'm not big enough to be booked that far in advance. I'm like a last minute, we're desperate, someone important canceled. Rob Green, get over here.
Well, at least you have a room everywhere you go, the green room.
Oh, yeah. I call dibs on that all the time.
I mean, most times it's only just like a back room that all their storage is in, and you have room to put your bag.
It's a staff washroom sometimes.
Most times, yeah. Or, there's room in the kitchen, just put it there. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll just go out to the van. That's fine.
So we're getting kind of close to the time I had allotted for this. So we're going to I have some segments that I kind of planned for this, little activities, Sweet. If you will. But
I like it.
The first thing I'm going to do is I call this one Celeb Smack Talk. I want you to pick any fucking celebrity, and I want you to talk shit about them for 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, God. Okay. Who are we gonna pick? See, I'm not up with the new celebs, so I got to dig deep in here. So, can we say Paris Hilton?
You can say Paris Hilton.
I mean, I loved the movie House of Wax, but her acting was horrible. She probably never should have sang. I mean, she's a cookie cutter that's had money. And that's the thing. It's like if you're brought in from money, it's like it's not actually the hard work put behind it. I like to see you go put the effort in, and that helps your image. People want to know the story. They want to know you came from nothing, not from millions, you know? That's all I got.
That's good. And the second activity is, I probably should have spaced these out a little bit, but
I like the activities.
yes. So we are told throughout school that there are no stupid questions.
There is.
You are going to be posed with 5 stupid questions, and you got to give your best answers for them.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. What's your spirit animal's spirit animal?
Shit. Probably like a grandfather eagle.
That came pretty natural to you.
Yeah.
How do you think Oscar the Grouch feels about recycling?
He thinks it's trash.
That's good. That's good. What's handier on an airplane, a rake or a shovel?
Shovel, so you can bury the fucking people beside you making out.
Do you think the person who named Orange purposely made it not rhyme with anything, and why?
Damn. I don't even have a funny joke for this one. I'm just kind of hungry now. Like, I know door hinge works, but maybe they were just trying to fuck with everybody. It's good. I like that one.
We could look into it. Unfortunately, the funds aren't there for any serious scientific research at this time.
Maybe we can put it on a live stream. Funding for why orange is orange.
Okay, I'm writing that down too. I'm all about the endeavors right now. And the 5th and final question.
Drum roll, please.
Who'd win a fight between Jamie Lee Curtis and Linda Hamilton?
Ooh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
I'm a big Halloween fella. Oh, that's a good one, though.
I'm siding with you on this. Jamie Lee Curtis, I think. I think she's taller, so she's got more reach.
I like it. That is and you know what? She's been around. She's been through it all, and she's a tough cat.
Yeah, and you see in the last Terminator movie, Linda Hamilton just looks like she's done nothing since like the prior Terminator movie, but just smoke cool menthols like all day. Just come on, Jamie Lee. Do I need to throw on a white mask of Shatner to kick your ass?
She is Patty and Selma.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie Lee Curtis is still Marge Bouvier with a fucking tough right hook.
Oh, I believe it. Come on, Arnold taught me how to work my lat.
That is amazing. I haven't even watched the new Terminator. Am I missing anything?
It's worth a watch, but don't expect it just to rock your world or anything.
You know what? I was actually a big fan of the original Terminator. Terminator 2 was obviously the best one, but I got Terminator 1 back in Columbia House days too. I was like, okay, I've only ever watched 2, so let's dig into number 1, and I can get it for $0.01, and I'm not even paying for the cent. I found it on the floor and gave it to Mom. She sent it in, you know.
Check underneath the couch. Is fucking gold mine there.
I know Dad was sleeping here yesterday. Shit, I should go look in my couch. I mean, with all this lost time, I got to get wages somehow.
Get 5 pennies and they mean something nowadays.
I like it.
I guess
3.
3, yeah, you could round up.
Just go in with 3 cents, then you go get it. You get a nickel, then go in the next time with another 3 cents.
Just go to the bank. She's like, I have to call my manager. Just give me a second.
I love it.
All right, let's plug some shit for you before we go.
Okay.
Tell us about where we get your merchandise and shit like that.
So you can find everything on www.andrepettipas.com. Our links to our stores are there, our shows, our Facebook link, our YouTube link. It's all on our website. So most of our most of our activity is on Instagram though, on the daily activity. Like you'll see videos of my dog mostly every day, and he's like a celebrity on the Instagram world because
It's fucking adorable.
He's a handsome boy. His name is Lemmy. He's a 3-year-old Mastiff boxer mix, and so he's an Instagram star. But I prefer using Instagram because the stories, obviously, and there's just less drama. It's just take your photos, tell a little story about them. You don't have Aunt Linda arguing with Debbie, you know.
Oh, Aunt Linda. She has a good point every now and then.
Yeah, when she's off the rocker, you don't really know what to say. And see, it's kind of my favorite thing about Facebook though, is seeing the people that are like that. It's like screenshot it, send it to the boys.
Speaking of Facebook, you've been pretty active on that. You do live stuff pretty regularly.
Yeah.
So
Since the pandemic, I've been trying to go live once a week, and I just started doing like a question and answer thing. We did one last Sunday and it went really well. So this Sunday, we're going to be doing one with our producer, Brian Moncars. He actually he agreed to come on and hang out. We haven't seen him since we finished tracking the album in October. So he just finished up mixing Tea Party latest single. So I was talking to him earlier today, and he's doing the final adjustments to our mixes tomorrow, and then we're off for mastering on Monday. So everything is ready for us basically by next week. So we just have to play the waiting game and see until then.
can you do me a favor, since it's a Q&A?
Yeah.
Find out who he'd think would win the fight between Linda Hamilton and Jamie Lee Curtis as well.
I am 100% going to do that. We got to start a poll with this.
I was just going to say,
I think that's going to go on Instagram.
Do it up. Do it up.
That is perfect. I'll tag you in the poll though.
Do we put it up? I'll let you know when this is going up, or we'll just
we'll do it the same day. We'll do it the same day you release this, and then people will understand it. Or maybe after it's already released, then I'll put that up, and then I'll link it to the podcast or something.
That would be fucking amazing.
That's probably the best way to do it.
All right, so we're gonna close her off here because I don't know how much longer this thing's supposed to record, because I've never done one of these before.
Yeah, me neither. And the crazy thing about the meeting ID, so my favorite number is 222, and the meeting ID is 222-794-483. I literally see that number everywhere. It means you're on the right path. You're doing something right with life. So it's, when you sent me that number, I was like, okay, what in the fuck? This number literally follows me everywhere.
That's a promising sign for this little endeavor of mine.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well,
Cool, brother.
I want to thank you for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been Balls Deep with Andre Pettipas, a tale of debauchery.
Until next time.
Until next time, let's do this again.
All right, man. Good to see you.
You too. Take care. Be safe out there.
Take it easy, brother. Social distance, pound.
They can't see it, but trust me, it was epic.